Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe vom SI Talk. Bei mir, Neumeyer. Ich brauche ihn nicht lang vorstellen. First Majestic, was will man mehr sagen? Letztes Jahr sensationelle Stock-Performance, also wie der Markt gedreht hat, sieht man, was passieren kann. Und das ist genau so was ich letztes Mal gesagt habe. Konzentrieren Sie sich auf Titeln, die schon produzieren, die unterbewertet sind, die haben eine riesen Performance und damals sind wir irgendwo von 3,80 auf $25 gestiegen. Also das war wirklich eine sensationelle Performance. Fragen wir noch mal, was sonst Neues noch bei der Firma selber ist. Keith, thank you for your time. It's really a pleasure for me to be here, and I say this also in my German introduction, that you're one of the companies what the people should focus on it. Then we see, especially in your stock price, what's happened when the market is changing. Especially last year when you are in January, we are close to $4 or under $4, and then when the markets turned like a rocket, $25 up. Okay, we know short position here, short position there, but we see you have a better performance than the most exploration companies. And that's the reason why I say, okay, why we spend too much money on then focus, or a majority of investment must be in established companies. They have a really high leverage to the silver or gold price, depends which company it is. Your vision of the silver price, I come a little bit later. First is what's new by First Majestic. What's happened in the last 6 months?
Well, welcome to our office, Joe. It's
here
in sunny Vancouver.
Sunny. Today it's okay. Yeah. Yesterday was not so sunny.
Yesterday was not too good, but the weekend was very nice.
Yes,
the weekend was amazing. So, First Majestic, we're 2016 was a real turnaround year for us. We ended 2015 with the acquisition of our sixth mine, the Santa Elena mine from SilverCrest, and that really came at a great time for First Majestic. We were, after 3 years of struggling with low metal prices and trying to get our costs down, which we accomplished. By the end of 2015, we actually started making money again. At the end of 2015, but the acquisition of Santa Elena at the end of 2015 really changed the business a lot.
And I must say it was perfect timing.
The timing was perfect, yeah. The price we paid was amazing. And
I don't think that you can do this deal in this environment now.
Not for that price.
Not for that price.
Maybe three or four times more, maybe. But it was perfect for them. It was a great exit for the Santa Cruz SilverCrest. Shareholders and management. They were looking for a change, and they've gone off now and created another company. So good for them. But for us, we've got 6 producing mines now, and we ended 2016 with more money in the bank than we ever have in the history of the company. $129 million US, and that money is pretty well still there today, and we're generating a profit and building the business.
Yeah, but still, when we especially looking at the last 9 months, the share performance for all stocks was terrible. Okay, the first move was great, but then the last 9 months was terrible, and I must say I'm a little bit confused about the market. We see not really a relationship between the gold and silver price, and also to the share price of the most companies. So I'm really a little bit frustrated. At the best, you see it on the gold stock. Gold is still $1,260, not down 1,040 and so on. But you get prices sometimes at the same price what we have 1.5 years ago. So and do you see that a lot of money flow out of the market or why is this disconnecting between the new situation, the new fundamentals, and you mentioned it. The company is now in better shape than before, financial position-wise.
Well, we go through times, and Joe, yourself, that there's periods of time where the stocks will outperform the metal, and periods of time where the metal will outperform the stocks. And right now we're in a period where the metal's outperforming the stocks. And the reason I see is that there's so much focus on the Nasdaq, on the U.S. stock market. Even in Germany, the German stock market is hitting record highs. The London stock market, all the stock markets around the world are being inflated, by the central banks. Everyone's trying to prevent this crash that everyone's expecting is going to happen. The valuations in some of these stocks are just ridiculous, but that's where the money goes. And I listen to the different news feeds that I get access to, and there's a very bullish view on the U.S. stock market even today. And it's a hit at all-time highs. Every day it seems to be. Last week we had, I think, 3 all-time highs.
But I'm not really I believe after 30% uptrend in 12 months, you need a correction.
You do, but the central banks don't want the correction, and the institutions won't allow the correction. So you get all this money just flowing into that market, and of course it's going to come to an end. And I look at this very much similar to 2000, 2001. During that 98 to 2002 downfall of the mining stocks, because they're a very similar time. You couldn't raise money. The mining was completely out of favor, and then all of a sudden the Nasdaq cracked in 2002 after hitting 5,000, up from 2,500 over a matter of a couple of years' time, up 100% very quickly. And then once that cracked, that was the bottom in the mining sector. And the Nasdaq then dropped 50% over the next 10 years, while the mining sector took off and went up, over 1,000%.
When we talk about the market, I remember me a few weeks ago an interview, or a German newsletter do an interview with you, and you're coming up and say, hey, maybe silver price going up to $100.
Well, I believe it. It sounds silly, particularly when silver is $17.50, and then I'm talking. I said actually more than $100, but
with $100 I'm fine. I can live with that.
I'll be fine with even a little bit less than 100, but I actually do believe it. We're mining 9 to 1 globally right now. So how can you mine for every 1 ounce of gold 9 ounces of silver and be trading at 70 to 1? The ratio has to be lower. The ratio hit 31 to 1 back in April 2011 from 85. So that's when silver hit 50. And I think the ratio should be closer to 10. Gold is gold, and everyone I think understands gold's a currency, and gold should be part of your portfolio just as a hedge against other currencies. But silver is a different animal. I look at silver as a strategic metal, not a precious metal, and it's necessary even to do this interview. Without silver, this interview wouldn't be happening, and most of what we do on a daily basis wouldn't happen without silver. And as we electrify the planet and get off oil and gas and go green and globally, and just produce energy in a much more clean way, that's all going to require a ton more silver.
Do you have any ideas? I heard it's a few months, maybe a year ago, that we have a supply-demand deficit at the moment on the silver price.
Yeah, that's been going for some time. The GFMS numbers just came out on May 16th, I think it was, and there was a 150 million ounce deficit in 2016.
Yep, but deficit must catch up sometimes in a certain period, and you cannot only live on deficit.
Right, and that's the uniqueness of these markets. And quite honestly, it's hard to really trust some of these numbers, because they're putting together. Of course, to know what the mine supply is, it's pretty easy.
Right? That's right.
Yeah, so we know that. There's about 800 million ounces of mine supply that came to market in 2016. That's down from 850 million ounces 2 years earlier. So there was a slow shrinking of the silver supply from miners over the last couple of years. We know that. That's obvious. And you could even look at the first 6 months of 2017, and we've still seen some numbers on gold and silver are dropping still right now. So it'll be interesting to see what the final 2017 numbers are. But we know the supply is dwindling. We know the above ground supplies are dwindling. We can tell how much silver is in vaults, because the ETFs are the largest holders of that. But we don't know how much investors own. Like the GFSM or just CPM group who try to collect this data. You never really know how much silver is in someone's safe. for example.
No,
Right.
that's for sure. And this is all good when you see also on special on gold and see all the statistics, and then you find always a big portion, and it's that is the different.
They'll call it recycling or investment demand. Right.
But
yeah.
okay.
So they're hard numbers to associate or to have accurate numbers. But what we do know, is from our perspective, we've never had an issue selling silver. Mm-hmm. And we talk to our traders on a regular basis, and the silver is critical and is being used up very quickly. And I know for some of the suppliers of other metals, they do have to wait for the sales to take place. The zinc, for example, not so much today because zinc is actually in a shortage, but you go back 2-3 years, when we would deliver lead, for example, to the port in Mexico and zinc, it would sit there for a couple of months until the trader that we're using for the sale of that material would find a buyer. Mm-hmm. It's not the buyers weren't like this, but in gold and silver, no issue at all. Okay. It goes.
This brings me now to one major question. I saw a presentation outside of one of your tables there. One metals, one country.
Mm-hmm. I made that up.
Yeah. So, but one metal, okay, clear. You're focused on silver.
Right.
But you are now really a big company. When we met us first time, 2004, 5, 6, I don't know, it was really early days. You start only with one mine, and now you have 6 mines. But is the country, or if you have so much potential in this one country, or maybe you think that you go to other country too, so that one metal, 2 countries or something?
Yeah, we've thought about it. When we first met that year, I actually don't remember the year we met, but it was one of the years you mentioned. But in 2004, we produced 25,000 ounces of silver, and we thought that was great. 25,000 ounces of silver, that's really good. And then
it's a daily fluctuation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's today we were producing 12 or 13 million ounces of silver, and then plus lead and zinc and gold on top of that. So we're producing 18 million. Silver equivalent ounces a year. We're the second largest producer in Mexico. I just saw the stats, as I said, on May the 16th, with the 20th, exactly in the 20th position on a worldwide scale of silver producers, and they've included all the metal, all the big conglomerates in there as well.
Whereas most of them is a byproduct.
That's right. Yeah, most of it is a byproduct, but we're still included in the list. So we're now number 20, the first time we've ever been on that top 20 list, which is exciting. And we want to get higher up on that list. And so we're investing capital this year. We're investing over $100 million in Mexico this year to build our production. So by 2018, 2019, our production levels are going to start to increase again. And then with the other investments, we got Plamosa, we got La Luz, we got expansions at all our mines possible. So there's a lot of places to spend money and a lot of places we can still work to increase the size of the business. But the
focus is still Mexico.
Yeah, until someone shows me a better silver mine in another country that I'm happy working in. Mexico's a pretty good jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. It's safe for the most part. Of course, there's issues, but it's generally from a permitting perspective, from a cultural perspective, from a workforce perspective, skill sets. It really supplies a lot.
Yeah, and you have a good network there. So when you establish 6 mines and all the projects there, you are really close to connected to the people there.
Yeah.
Can make some decisions.
Yeah. Well, 2017 is our 15th year in business. Yeah. 15 years.
Keith, I think it was a good update. Forget something?
I think the exploration is quite interesting because we haven't really explored our assets very much over the last 5 years because how difficult the environment is, and we're drilling 180,000 meters of drilling this year. We have 19 drill rigs currently active right now over all our projects. We're spending $27 million on exploration.
Wow.
2017 is the largest exploration program we've ever done in the history of the company.
180,000 is the biggest program what I heard so far for this year in any project, in any company what I talk.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's gonna it's a delay. You don't get immediate gain out of that. But what it will do is it's going to add reserves, it's going to add life of mine, and it's going to add production. But it all takes 1, 2, 3 years to accomplish that.
The part of the game.
Yeah.
Ja, es war ein gutes Update für Majestic. Habe ein paar Dinge gefragt. Erstens einmal, will er in Mexiko einfach auch bleiben, weil sein Leitspruch ist ja One Metal, One Country. Oder gibt es andere Sachen, wo er irgendwo ist? Weil immerhin produziert er jetzt schon mit 6 Minen. Er ist das 20. größte Silberproduzent der Welt. Das inkludiert aber auch alle anderen großen Unternehmen, die Silber nur als Beiprodukt produzieren. Und das ist das erste Mal, dass er da drinnen ist. Und er sagt, ja, solange ihm kein anderer Land sagt, ein Projekt sagt, das in einer sicheren Judikatur ist, wird er das nicht ändern. Und man darf eines nicht vergessen, er hat halt sehr gute Connections natürlich unten. Wenn du 6 Minen betreibst, bist du ein großer Arbeitgeber, du weißt genau, an welche Leute du wenden musst. Was ich nicht gewusst habe, ist, dass er ein Explorationsprogramm 180.000 Meter beinhaltet. Das ist das größte Explorationsprogramm, den ich in diesem Jahr gehört habe von irgendeiner Firma. Und da kommen natürlich auch Riesenergebnisse raus. Und er sagt, er brauchte das für erstens mal Ressourcen aufzubauen und zweitens natürlich auch das Life of Mine der bestehenden Mine zu erweitern, aber auch neue Projekte voranzukriegen. Also es kann durchaus sein, dass man internen Wachstum oder es ist sogar sicher, dass wir internes Wachstum aus der eigenen Produktion sehen werden. Und das ist extrem spannend. Dann habe ich gefragt, habe ich ein Interview gelesen, dass er erwartet einen Silberpreis von über $100. Er sagt, ja, wenn man das jetzt reinrechnet, vom Ratio her, wie Sambus, Gold, Silber, müsste $100 eigentlich ganz locker sein. Und für ihn ist Silber kein Metall wie jedes andere, sondern es ist ein strategisches Metall. Ohne Silber würden wir dieses Interview nicht machen, weil es in die Kameras und so weiter auch immer benutzt wird. Also von da ein sehr wichtiges Metall und er hat noch nie Probleme gehabt, Silber zu verkaufen, währenddessen bei Blei oder Zink haben sie schon teilweise Möglichkeiten gehabt, dass einmal das auf 2-3 Monate dort gelegen ist, bis ihr Händler einen Käufer für das gefunden hat. Und das war beim Silber bis jetzt noch nie der Fall. Und wir haben auch eine Shortage drinnen im Silberpreis, auch wenn wir diese Statistiken immer ein bisschen mit Vorsicht sehen müssen. Ja, das war ein rundes Interview. Wir wissen, also Sie wissen ja, ich bin ein Fan von First Majestic und es ist für mich einfach nur, wer an den Silbermarkt glaubt, muss halt schauen, dass er bald genug reinkommt oder niedrigstmöglich reinkommt, damit er beim nächsten Aufwärtsbewegung dabei ist. Und wie der Silberpreis, wie der First Majestic Preis sein würde, wenn der Silberpreis wirklich $100 ist, möchte ich gar nicht wissen, aber ich hoffe, wir finden es raus. Tschüss und Baba aus Vancouver, Mai 2017.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good seeing you again.